I ended up on the USS Roosevelt as part of a Distinguished Visitor Embark program. We were in the Pacific Ocean about 100 miles off the coast. We got out there on a C-2 Greyhound airplane and we did an arrested landing. The arrested landing is really a unique experience. You're in a plane and you're facing backwards in the plane. There aren't any windows that you can see out of, so you really have no visual reference point to know where you are or when things are going to happen. Just prior to landing, the landing gear goes down and the crew says, "Here we go," and then that's it. That's all the warning you get, and you just stop immediately on board the ship and you think, what happened? And then all of a sudden you think, I might have lived. The back door of the plane starts opening as you're taxiing on the top of the carrier. And all of a sudden you look out and it is the most surreal experience because you feel like you've just all of a sudden just dropped into the movie Top Gun. You look out and you see all the people in their different colored shirts and you get the smell of sort of the jet fuel and the sea breeze and the ocean, and it all just hits you at once and you're just looking right out the back door of the plane and that's all you see, and it's absolutely surreal. One of the first things we did when we landed was we met the commanding officer and the XO, and then they took us right outside, took us right on the flight deck, and we stood there on the flight deck as they were launching planes. We stood right next to one of the catapults, safely back, but we were right next to it. I was 20 feet from a fighter jet that was taking off. It's definitely not a small ship. The USS Roosevelt towers 20 stories above the water line. The flight deck itself is 4.5 acres. They have the capability of making 400,000 gallons of fresh water from seawater every day. They serve over 20,000 meals every single day. They have 1,400 telephones, 14,000 sheets, 5,000 people approximately when the air wing is embarked on the ship. 30% of the crew leaves the carrier, whether they're moving on to a new job or leaving the Navy every single year. So in about 3 years, they have approximately 100% turnover. The accommodations were really wonderful. They have a whole distinguished visitor row where they have staterooms, and it's like an officer's quarters type of a situation. As you're laying in bed, your whole bed shakes because there are planes landing and taking off directly above you. And I've never slept directly under an airport before, so that was one of the most unique experiences that I had. There were so many things that stuck with me about the carrier. First of all, the ship itself, it's amazing. It has such capabilities. It was so clean, it was so impressive. Also, the crew really stuck with me, and I was really taken aback by how professional they are, how heroic they are, how young they are, the nature of their jobs and what they're doing, and how serious their jobs are, and they're literally life and death every day. They go out on a deployment. A deployment typically lasts 7 months. Then they'll come back and they'll still need to be doing training. So even though they're home, the people when we were out, they were going to be out at sea for another 2 weeks and then come back. They sacrifice a lot of time with their families. They're out on the ship quite a bit. Even when they're home, they can be out and away from their families. These people are everyday heroes. They are humble and brave. At Dante Valve, our vision is we protect those who protect us. So for me to see our product installed and meet the people and know who we're serving was really a thrill. It was such a wonderful thing that I came back and I was able to share with our team. When it came time to leave the ship, we knew we were going to go on a catapult launch, and the commander of the ship, the XO of the ship, they all were telling us, "Oh, you're going to really enjoy that. Oh, have a good time. You'll love it. It's a unique experience," and they were right. The catapult launch is an experience that is similar to a roller coaster. When you're sitting and you're waiting to shoot off from the roller coaster, it's like that, but it's just so much more intense. As the plane is waiting to take off, it's building up force and the engines are revving and everything is going, and so it's incredibly loud, and it builds and builds and builds to a point where it's incredibly uncomfortable, and then all of a sudden you're off you go and it's quiet and you just are gone. I've always been part of, here we're going to supply a component part that then is going to get installed into a ship, but the ship isn't alive, it doesn't have a crew, it doesn't have people yet. And to be able to meet those people and to see them and to see how the ship operates in real time and to be there as it shakes because a plane is landing or you're hearing jet fighters take off, it was just cemented the whole process and really convinced me that the respect that I had for the process was well placed. November is National Aircraft Carrier Month, and hopefully we can all take a moment to think about the people who are deployed on these ships around the world and who serve on these ships, and to just be thankful that they're there for us.